What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as you can tell by the title, another Earthspark piece of content on the channel. Not really something that I'd be touting about, but I guess it's something I gotta talk about, being a Transformers channel. It is new media. Season 3 did come out about a week ago, or close to a week ago, I think. And no one's really talking about it. If you go on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube even, TFW, there really is no hype, no discussion, no theories, or just anything about the newest piece of media with Transformers Earthspark. And it kind of is sad. I mean, me personally, I'm really not a fan of the show. I thought Season 1 was good. Season 2, you completely lost me. And even with Season 1, I wasn't really, super attached to anything with the characters or the story at all. But I still thought it was a pretty solid season for a modern Transformers show. But when you look at everything, the toy sales, the streaming numbers just going down, and it basically only being a Paramount Plus exclusive series, which really did hurt the streaming numbers. I'm sure Hasbro and Paramount are never going to do something like this again with how terrible it's been selling, which I'm glad for. I really don't want to be paying, $10-15 just to watch some kids cartoon here. But, hopefully this stuff either goes back to maybe Cartoon Network or I guess just Nickelodeon. We need good air dates and times for these cartoons again. It's never really been perfect. It's always been sort of early in the morning, and then sometimes you get reruns during the day or at night. But we need to go back to how it was before, 10, 15, 20 years ago. Give it to Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon and just air this stuff on television. We don't need it to be streaming exclusives or none of that. Streaming stuff really hasn't even been doing that well the past few years. Not even just talking about Transformers Earthspark, but basically everything. So it was honestly just a bad idea to begin with. And it really is unfortunate too, because the latest and last wave of Earthspark figures coming out in just a few short months, that wave was leaked a couple weeks back. I did a video on that if you guys want to go check it out a few days ago. It's on the channel. And that seems like it's going to be a pretty interesting wave to see how these figures turn out. I mean, we're getting a deluxe Cosmos Stealth Bomber Soundwave, an interesting sounding repaint of Megatron and Twitch, and I think I'm forgetting another character. But it seems like it's going to be a pretty solid wave of deluxes, and possibly the best deluxe wave with Earthspark. The show is canceled. We're getting Cyberworld right after. Basically, right after Earthspark Toyline ends, we're just jumping right into Cyberworld. It seems like Hasbro and everybody involved just wants to move on from the show as quick as possible, because the turnaround from going from Earthspark to Cyberworld is relatively quick. For example, in previous, going from show to show with Transformers in previous years, from Cybertron to animated, that was like a year, maybe even a year and a half of just no new Transformers content in terms of cartoons. You were just getting reruns. And with animated to Prime, that was another year and a half of just no new cartoon content on television. And then from Prime to RID 2015, again, probably the same amount of time, maybe even longer. It was probably about 2 years with no Transformers media content. You go from Cyberverse to Earthspark, that wasn't even a year, I'm pretty sure. It was probably 5-6 months. And then you go from Earthspark to Cyberworld, it's probably going to be about the same turnaround time, maybe even shorter because of how terrible Earthspark did and just the controversy surrounding the series and Hasbro just wanting to possibly move on as quick as possible, which I really can't blame them. Again, this show is doing terrible. I think, don't quote me on this, but if I remember correctly, I think Japan or China, their market, they basically dropped this show not too long ago. I can't remember if that's the case, but I'm pretty sure it is. And the last time that happened was, I think, Prime. So that just puts it into perspective how bad this show is doing. If I'm right on that, let me know in the comments if I'm remembering that correctly. So hopefully Hasbro and whoever else is involved with Cyberworld here learns their lesson from what did not work with Earthspark, putting it on a streaming service only, basically doing the toys that they did, which was a lot of it being Cyberverse repaints, which was really terrible. Just the overall quality of the toy line was absolutely awful to begin with. It was worse than Cyberverse, less deluxes, less new molds, just overall nothing really to be excited or hyped about in general. At least with Cyberverse, you were getting new characters at deluxe and, what was it called, mega scale or whatever, a bit more gimmick based. But with this, it's just the same old stuff, and they really only brought out some of the heavy hitters in the last wave, it seems like, if we're going off of these characters here. But hopefully with Cyberworld here, whatever happens next year, it just turns out to be a solid show and a solid toy line. I don't know, the toy line with the listings, it seems like it's going to be more of the same that we've been getting the last 10 years, just deluxes and warrior class and no Voyagers and leader class figures. If you guys have been watching the channel, I really do feel like that is one of the main issues with why these cartoons and toy lines aren't doing too well right now, is because they're just not putting the same amount of effort as they did 10, 15, 20 something years ago. So hopefully maybe that changes, but I don't know, going by the listings, it seems like it's just more of the same, unfortunately. But yeah, guys, let me know down in the comments below, how do y'all feel about the current reception of Earthspark, and, basically nobody really talking about this show within the fandom, unfortunately. All my social medias are linked down below, including my email if you guys want to hit me up about business inquiries or if you want to message me about whatever, or if you want to commission a diorama from me, because I make dioramas for people for their stop motions, photography, or irregular display shelves in your homes. You can either hit me up on any of my social media accounts or just email me and we can work out a deal. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye!